Jason Stan with Rivals.com and HokieHaven.com here from what's now an empty Ohio Stadium. It wasn't just not very long ago. A record crowd, a record attendance, over 107,000 on hand, and a lot of them went home pretty disappointed. Virginia Tech comes away with a stunning 35-21 win over number 8 Ohio State, and the Hokies really they jumped out from the very beginning. They scored second drive of the game, and they got out to a 21-7 lead before Ohio State charged back in the third and fourth quarter, really tightening things up quite a bit. But the Hokies stayed tough. They stayed resilient. They got a number of sacks, had 6 sacks total in the game, and really kept the pressure on Ohio State. Donovan Riley coming away with what was the deciding play of the game, really, putting the bow on the win for the Hokies. Came away with an interception, returned at 63 yards for a touchdown to give them our final score 35-21. In favor of Virginia Tech. Of course, they'll head back home next week, but man, what a win, and what just a huge turn of events, everything for Virginia Tech. I mean, the odds were certainly stacked against them coming in. I was one of those who picked against Virginia Tech. I think I had them losing 31-20, but definitely proved me and a lot of other doubters wrong, and coming away and just really setting the tone from the very beginning. Over 300 yards of total offense, and really the cool customer all night was Michael Brewer. I mean, he got sacked a couple of times, he fumbled, which ended up resulting in a touchdown that led to Ohio State's rally to tie the game at 21. But Michael Brewer stayed resilient. He stayed tough and really set the tone. He kept everybody grounded on offense, kept it going, and really was a huge factor for tonight for the Hokies, just in getting that offense going, which had a number of, they did some of the no huddle, but a lot of kind of trick plays. They did a lot of jet sweeps. They had Bucky Hodges line up at the Wildcat. Bucky Hodges catches a touchdown. Of course, also a pretty memorable touchdown. He did the robot after he caught the touchdown pass in the end zone. Was kind of joking afterward that, of course, he'll be meeting with Coach Frank Beamer on Wednesday to see what his punishment will be. But I think a lot of Hokies fans would take that punishment for him, as it helped get them and propel Virginia Tech to a huge win over Ohio State here on Saturday night. Primetime game, obviously. LeBron James being in the house, one of those in attendance, so a lot of eyes between on TV here at the stadium, and obviously included in that group in the stadium a number of recruits. Those at least a handful looking at Virginia Tech and Ohio State. Kevin Tolliver, Josh Sweat, Matthew Burrell, those guys. Jordan Whitehead also in attendance here tonight. Of course, Matthew Burrell was just at Virginia Tech last weekend for the season opener. Kevin Tolliver and Josh Sweat will be taking their official visits here in 2 weeks for the Georgia Tech game. So we'll see if that has any impact on them, but it should at least get a lot of attention, a lot of needed attention back on Virginia Tech in a very positive way after a couple of at least down seasons for Virginia Tech standards the past 2 seasons. So again, a resounding win here tonight at Ohio Stadium. We've got tons of coverage coming, plenty of post-game interviews from Coach Frank Beamer, Michael Brewer, Daddy Nicholas, all the guys that were really influential tonight, or at least played a huge role in this victory tonight. So we've got plenty of coverage. We'll be back at Lane Stadium next week. I hope you guys can all join us if you'll be in attendance at our tailgate. We'll be back going in our usual spot for a noon kickoff. It's a little early next week, but we'll be going strong, tailgating before the game. So from here at Ohio Stadium, where we saw Virginia Tech coming away with a huge 35-21 win that'll certainly get them in the rankings of the AP and USA Today coming up this coming week. We'll have to see where they're ranked, but we know they'll be ranked in there somewhere. So again, plenty of coverage coming from Ohio Stadium here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm Jason Stan with Rivals.com and HokieHaven.com.